This is Eve from Sewing in Color. Today we're going to make a very quick jumpsuit. And then we're going to, maybe a black jumpsuit. So let's get started. I'm going to go take my rectangular tool and I'm going to draw out a rectangle. I'm going to start from this part here, the neck part. Cancel that a second. And if you want to undo, you go Control Z and you undo anything that you don't want to. You go back one step backward and you can go backward up to a certain point. So I'm going to go ahead, draw out this rectangular tool as promised. And then I'm going to just start shaping them with the points tool. So the add point split line tool. Select that. Okay. So I'm going to shape the neckline, I'm going to put a point here, and then the armhole, a point here and about here. Go to the edit pattern tool and we're going to delete these points so we end up with lines, straight lines. So these slanted lines here, we always with the edit pattern tool, we can click on a point. Yeah, I'm going to drag it down a little bit because I want to just shape this a bit. Here I'm going to take this point, put it in a bit here, maybe take it up a little. Then I'm going to maybe go to this line here, click on it, always left click and pull it down a little bit like that. I'm going to go to the edit curvature tool, click on that, I'm going to curve this slightly. And I can curve this too. So, okay. So we're up to about the length. This is about the length of the jumpsuit we want. Here, with the edit pattern tool selected, I think I'm going to flare it a little bit. So I'm going to click on this point, flare it out just a tad bit. Okay. So now I'd like to create this part here, the inseam and the crotch part. So there you want to go to the point tool and I would say about, get it closer a bit, this level here. We can go here and we can go right here. And if it's too tight or too big or it's the material is crimping up too much, you can adjust that later. So doing this now, I'm going to go to my edit curvature tool, click on that, and I'm going to make this curve. Remember that the crotch part in the front is not as deep as the one in the back. So here's what I'm going to give this slight curve here. And on the edit pattern tool, I'm going to take this point here and I'm going to just put it to the side here. So it looks like this. And then of course, if we have any problems, we can adjust the things later on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the transform tool and I'm going to click on the pattern, right click for copy and right click again, paste. Well, here's what. I don't want to do this, so I'm going to cancel this, Control Z. The better thing to do is to right click on it and get a symmetric pattern. Symmetric pattern at this point, if you do anything to one part, the other part's affected. It's the same. So, okay, so this is my front part, and then what I'm going to do is, with the transform tool selected, I'm going to just go here, left click, and draw this line right, this rectangle right over. And what I'm going to do is right click just to copy, and right click just to paste on the pattern, of course. Okay. So here it comes up right here. I'm going to flip it right away, flip horizontally, take it, put it in front of my avatar, and oh, I want to place the whole thing. Okay, here's what I'm going to select. No, not this one, of course, this one. I'm going to select it again and place it at the back like this. Okay, so there we are. Push this up a little higher. Okay, so when we go to simulate, we have no problems. Okay, so now remember the back part, the crotch part, it's deeper, okay? It goes in more. So here you will have to do some adjustments. So I'm going to go to my edit curvature tool, and I'm going to start adjusting a little. Remember, we adjust one part and the other one was automatically adjusted because it's a symmetric pattern. So here's what I'm going to do, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the edit pattern tool. I'm going to just go on this point here and pull it up a little bit, like just this. Here's what I'm going to go curve it. I'm going to give this position a little more like that, and okay, and then we'll see eventually if it how it works. Now it's time for segment sewing. So you select your segment sewing tool. In the 3D pattern window, I could start clicking on segments and sewing them together. Side, go like that. Let's go to this side again, like this. Okay, here we know we have to do this part, and we know we have to do this part here. Then, if you want to save time, you go underneath. You know you have to do this. Oops. We know we have to do this one. Make sure it's selected. See the blue comes up with this one. Okay. So then we know if these two are selected, we know we have to do then this one with this one. So, okay. So we're not really finished. We're missing something. We're missing the front and the back. So we're going to do these two and these two. Okay. So either you choose from here or here. And okay. So it's time to simulate and see what we come up with. Okay, simulated. Now at this point, you can check for the crotch section to see if that's satisfactory. So far, so good. If you want a longer crotch in other videos, I'll show you how to do that. Shorter, I'll show you how to do that. It's just a matter of manipulating some points. And for now, maybe she's okay. Enough. It's good enough. So if you want this a little longer, you can really select this tool, the edit pattern tool, okay? And here's what you do. You can select a line, this line here. You hold on shift, select the other line, finger off the shift button, and then you, with the left click, you pull this down a little, okay? And it's longer. You can pull it down some more, and it gets even longer. So by doing it this way, this is what lengthens, okay? Not the whole thing, but just this part here involved. And there we go. Turn her around a bit, simulate a bit. Some stitches were showing. And then what you do is you can just, the fabric is a default cotton. You click on this, bring up the color in the property editor. So I'm going to click on, yeah, black. Okay. Remember that it's either you do one or the other. This were all highlighted. So when I clicked on this here, the default cotton fabric 1, and I selected the color, they all turned black. Another way, of course, if they're not highlighted, you can just take it from here, left click here, and drag it to the pattern piece. Drag it to the pattern pieces. Okay. So here she is. We can just put those arms down by going up here in this window and selecting the X-ray joints. Click here on a joint, okay? When the gizmo comes up, you just adjust it, adjust these arms. Okay, go back to the window. To deselect, you click on it, and there it's deselected. And here she is in this jumpsuit, black jumpsuit, really simple to create. Okay, have a nice day. See you in the next video. This is Eve signing off now.